Well, hello everyone. Scott here with this week's Self-Storage Quick Tip, talking about franchising. We've had an awful lot of folks that have been coming to our website and asking questions about self-storage franchises. So let's talk about the benefits. Do you really need one? Where do you find one? And how does it really work in the self-storage business? Well, let's start by first of all defining what a franchise is. I went to the Wikipedia page and here's their definition. I'll let you read the entire one on your own, but we're going to focus on the first sentence. Franchising is a practice of using another firm's successful business model. And there's an awful lot of folks that are looking at this business model, the self-storage business model right now. It's been an extremely hot asset class and small business, and it's because it has been the most profitable asset class in all of real estate, bar none, for the past 30 years running now. It is also one of the most profitable small businesses, depending upon how you look at the industry, during the recession. Individuals are downsizing, businesses are downsizing, they're moving their extra goods into self-storage for an inexpensive way to store those goods until the economy turns back around again. Occupancy's up in self-storage, so the industry as a whole does extremely well during recessions. If you've been out there looking into various investments right now and how to return some of that money that you've lost during this recession, no doubt you can't get onto the internet and type in investments and high returns without seeing articles and all types of information on self-storage and how well it is done, from the Wall Street Journal, Inc. magazine, Entrepreneur magazine, Bloomberg, CNN Money. If you don't believe me, go out and look for yourself. But as a matter of fact, if you look at the self-storage real estate investment trust last year as a sector, 34.5% returns. In the real estate investment trusts, if you look at them all as an aggregate, the next closest highest returns was 8.8% in apartments. Self-storage returns four times the amount higher returns than apartments. So that's all well and good, and 34.5% is great, but you know what? The folks that own them actually make the most amount of money. How do I know this? Well, let's take a look at the business model here. Franchising is the practice of using another firm's successful business model. Okay, well, when people are looking to get into the business, they want to own it, they don't want to buy a REIT, so the next place is to go to look for a franchise. The reason people look for a franchise are the same reason that people look for franchises like Subway and Domino's Pizza and the hundreds of other franchises out there, and that's because we don't have time to create it on our own. People don't want to reinvent the wheel. It's the quickest, safest way to get in, to follow somebody else's business model. And so where do people start? Well, first of all, they go to Google. But when you go to Google, here's what you find. I typed in self-storage franchise. Go ahead and do this right now if you'd like. And you'll see that it's mostly geared towards the mobile storage business. In other words, for what most people recognize as the pods, which are the mobile units that are they're delivered to you on a truck that people store their goods, and either they leave it there temporarily or they put it back on the truck and take it somewhere else. Well, if you want to be on that side of the business, it's a good business, but it's a logistics business, and that's a lot of work, and the margins aren't near as high as they are in actually owning a self-storage facility, a true piece of real estate running a self-storage operation. Well, if you look below those paid ads, then you also come to the two largest franchise websites that look to the various types of franchises that are available. And below that is selfstorageinvesting.com. I'm not exactly sure what that is. You may want to check that out as well. But let's look at Franchise Gator and let's look at FranChoice and see what we find. Self-storage franchise opportunities. Your search returned no results. Darn, now what am I going to do? Well, let's go to FranChoice. Well, once again, here's what we find within FranChoice is that you can franchise one of the multiple mobile storage businesses, but there's nothing in here to be able to actually franchise a self-storage facility. Okay, so why can't I find a franchise for this industry? Well, because self-storage facilities are a little different than buying like a Subway or another restaurant or any of those other types of business that can readily and easily be franchised, and that's because we're buying the real estate. In most franchises, you're leasing some space somewhere, and the startup costs are minimal, but in this case, we're actually leveraging and buying real estate. Now, if you're stuck in a place where you can't find a franchise, but you really want somebody to run this for you, you can also hire a third-party property management company to run the facility for you. Okay, but let's look at the reasons why the franchises aren't out there. Well, there were two companies that offered franchise services a number of years ago, but they're gone now, and that's because self-storage, the industry itself, it's a pretty fragmented industry. Public Storage is the largest, and they only own about 4.5% of the industry. So you don't really get a lot of benefit from having the economies of scale of some national marketing program. Also, there's really no trade secrets or super secret formulas or anything difficult to replicate. In other words, fairly simple business. It's just really not rocket science. Also, there's really no brand loyalty, no reason to have a national brand by the consumer, because at the end of the day, it's really a commodity. When people are looking for storage, they're going to Google self-storage and look for something that's close to their house. They want something that's convenient, and they're going to shop the price a little bit. Okay, so I want to get into the business still. I don't have a roadmap, so how am I going to do this to ensure my success without the aid of a franchise? Well, first of all, if you're looking to buy or build a facility, you hire a consultant to do a feasibility study for you. They'll look at the facility, they'll look at the market and determine whether it's a good facility and it's a good investment to move forward. Then you hire and train the right staff. Very, very key. And then also provide a clean, safe, secure facility with attractive curb appeal. Once again, not rocket science. Then you implement a marketing plan to basically crush your competition. Best part is you only have to pay for this once. So once you get all of this in place, it really is a set it and forget it business. You tweak it a little bit. So who can help? Well, there are industry consultants, as I mentioned, for conducting the feasibility studies and your due diligence. So you can find those folks out there if you just Google self-storage feasibility studies. You can also go to the Self-Storage Association as well as Inside Self-Storage, and both of those organizations offer manager certification courses. So once you hire a staff person, a manager, you can get them certified, and it runs them through the process of how to properly manage a self-storage facility. Then you need to create your own franchise. Create an operations manual using the best business practices for your self-storage facility. Now that's what we've done in our facilities, and we've now made that available to our students as well. So if you haven't been over to selfstorageinvesting.com and taken a look at the resources over there, that's just one of them. Big fan of Michael Gerber and the E-Myth. Systems run the business. You manage and tweak the system. We've built a franchise within our own business. Then you need to have a strong web presence. This is a very localized business. People don't travel more than 5 miles typically to store their items at a self-storage facility. So you need to dominate the market within a 5-mile radius of your facility. Again, another reason why you don't have to pay $25,000 to $200,000 to a franchise company and then 6 to 8% royalties on the back end. You get all this in place from the beginning, and why would you want to pay somebody else? Okay, so for more information on the self-storage business itself and getting started into the business, again, head on over to selfstorageinvesting.com. And also, if you have any questions regarding this, email me, scott@selfstorageinvesting.com. And you can also email me to let me know what other topics you want to learn about in our future sessions on this channel. So with that, this has been Scott Meyers with selfstorageinvesting.com. Make it a great day.